Marching west, the Union forces left Barber's Plantation at 6 a.m., expecting to defeat the Confederates 32 miles away in Lake City. If successful, the Union then planned to cut off the railroad communications between East and West Florida by destroying the railroad bridge over the Suwannee River. Little did they know they would never make it that far. By early afternoon, the Union cavalry had driven the Confederate cavalry westward for several miles. As the Union neared the railroad station at Olustee, Confederate resistance grew stronger. Here's where the bloody 4-hour-long battle began. When the two armies met in force, the Union troops were positioned between two swamps, one stopping their advance and the other blocking their retreat. They could see for long distances, and there was very little cover in which to hide. To the north was an old cleared field, where later the fighting would be severe. No one anticipated that Olustee would become a major battle. Neither side knew much about the battleground or their opponent, but each continued to send troops forward. Both sides were almost evenly matched, and at this point, it was anyone's victory. Around 2 p.m., Union troops reached a railroad crossing east of Olustee. Here, they faced increased resistance from the advancing Confederate troops. The 7th Connecticut opened up with heavy fire from their Spencer repeating rifles, catching the 64th Georgia off guard, killing all of their regiment's field officers. General Colquitt's reinforcements arrived just in time to keep the 64th from being cut down. The 7th Connecticut advanced farther than their flanks and soon found themselves in a crossfire. When their ammunition ran low, they withdrew several hundred yards to the rear. Here, the Union advance was finally halted. Around 3 p.m., Colonel Harrison arrived with the Confederate reinforcements, and General Colquitt ordered the troops to advance. Colonel Barton's brigade for the north was soon subjected to the concentrated fire in the area recently vacated by the 7th New Hampshire. The continuous roar of battle lasted another 3 hours without a pause. Grape and canisters swept by with hideous music, and shell after shell tore through our ranks and burst amid heaps of our wounded heroes. The 115th New York swept forward in the face of a galling fire, through reeds higher than our heads, over logs and fences, until the hateful columns of Southern gray were plainly visible. James H. Clark, the Iron-Hearted Regiment, 115th New York, 1865. About the time the North felt the day was lost, the 54th Massachusetts and the 1st North Carolina U.S. colored advance staggering the enemy for a moment. Around 5 p.m., the fire slackened on both sides as soldiers were running out of ammunition. The men searched the pockets of their fallen comrades, desperate for ammunition. New supplies of ammunition arrived for Confederates. The entire line moved forward, led by the 27th Georgia, driving the Union forces from their positions. The battle waged furiously all along the line, and the slaughter was terrible. But each man was determined to give his all. Colquitt gradually advanced until they were nearly on the enemy's left flank. The Yankees broke and fled, and the rebels knew they had won. Before the day had ended, the casualties were staggering. The Union suffered 1,861 killed, wounded, and missing. The Confederates' casualties totaled 946. The Olustee defeat ended Union efforts to organize a loyal Florida government in time for the 1864 election. The Confederates won the Battle of Olustee, but would eventually lose the Civil War.